Kia ora, tamariki mā, and welcome back to The Word. I wonder if you've ever experienced loneliness or a really hard time in your life and you just wanted it to be over. Well, I remember when I was young and we moved from a little country farm called Hotoville into the big city of Pōneke, Wellington. I had to go to a new school, and for the first time, I was not at the same school as my brothers or my sister. I was all by myself. I remember feeling so lonely because I didn't have any friends. All the kids at my new school had grown up together. They knew each other really well, and they really weren't looking to include anyone new in their friend groups. Every day I would go home feeling like such a loser because I had no friends. I wanted to leave and go back to Hotoville, back home. I didn't want to go to this new school anymore, and it felt like no one would even miss me if I never came back. Well, today's story is about a woman named Hagar. Hagar's life was really hard, like way harder than mine. She was living in slavery. Before this happened, she would have had family and friends around her. They would have enjoyed each other's company and had kai and kōrero together. But as a slave, Hagar no longer had control over her own life. It's so sad, but right throughout history, people have been enslaved. I don't know if you've heard much about slavery, but at this time, rich people bought other people to work for them. Like, they actually paid money to buy people. That's so terrible, right? Some of these people might have been sold by their families because they were poor and they didn't have enough money to look after them properly or buy them enough food to eat. Others, well, they might have been captured in wars. Slaves were forced to do things for their owners like the washing and the cooking, maybe farming or gardening and looking after the children. Sometimes they were even expected to have their enslavers' babies if a wife couldn't have a baby of her own. It was very sad life and a hard life for those who were sold and became the property of someone else. It wasn't fair and it wasn't right. God's plan for the world has always been that everyone would be loved and treated equally. You know, it's okay to feel sad or angry about slavery. It makes God sad too. Well, Hagar was enslaved to Sarah and Abraham. Sarah was getting quite old and she hadn't had a baby yet. This was making her sad because God had promised her and Abraham that one day their family would be as massive as the stars in the sky or the sand on the ground. I know what I'll do, thought Sarah. I'll give Hagar to my husband and they can have a baby for me. Sarah used her power badly. Making someone do something just so you can get what you want from them is not right. It didn't take long and Sarah's plan worked. Hagar was pregnant. She would have a baby. Hagar was sad. This is not what she wanted, and she lost all respect for Sarah because of the way that she'd been treated. Well, this made Sarah really angry. Instead of being grateful to Hagar, she made things worse and treated her really badly. One day, Hagar just couldn't take it anymore, so she ran away. While she was on the run, an angel sent by God appeared. The angel told Hagar to name her baby boy Ishmael, which means God hears. God had heard Hagar's pain and he was going to be with her. The angel encouraged Hagar to go back to Abraham and Sarah because it wouldn't be safe for her to be alone on the road. The angel encouraged her to treat others with respect, even though this was not how she had been treated. This would have been so hard, but Hagar knew in her heart that God had seen her, that she mattered to him. That even when she was treated badly by people, that God had made a place for her and people like her in the kingdom of heaven. As lifelong followers of Jesus, it's good to remember that when we feel like we're being overlooked or treated badly by others like Hagar was, that this is the exact place in our journey when we can be confident that God is close. So remember to take some time to look to God, the God who sees you.